after you say something serious, or we'll just go with it.
All right, recording.
Hi, welcome to the DMG Update. I'm Lauren Booker. I'm the General Manager for the DMG. I'm here with folks from Underground. Please introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Cassie Stanton.
And I'm David Rebson.
Great. Thank you so much for being here for the DMG Update. So tell me, how are things going in Underground?
Well, it's been a pretty busy semester. We've changed up a lot of the way that we're sort of approaching the publication of our issues, and so that means that things have taken a little bit more time than they might otherwise, but we're done now, and so we're actually Cassie is about to finish the layout.
Awesome.
And then it's going to the printer.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So what are you thinking about for layout? Or what are your possible choices?
We've sort of just been playing with a bunch of different types of inspiration.
Yeah.
Like, we're fans of like different Penguin
Oh,
publication.
that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
different books of theirs.
Yeah.
Mostly simple, like clean lines and geometric shapes. We're incorporating our Underground logo in there at some
Yeah.
point. But yeah,
Clean
simple.
lines.
We're using a student's art for the cover as well that we're excited about. So.
Yeah. So from previous submissions and current, are there any most memorable submissions that you can remember off the top of your head?
We think in prose, poetry, or art, just all of them.
Anything, yeah, anything.
Yeah, there's a number of really great pieces already, and what's pretty cool is we've been working with the contributors to give them a chance to revise the pieces. Like once we've identified that we want the piece, we're now sort of actively editing and working with them. So that's exciting because we've gotten to see pieces change and sort of evolve. One that I think stands out for me right now is a piece by Sam McCracken, and it's called Learning to Sweat in San Jose.
Interesting name.
Yeah.
Wow, can't wait to read that. That's cool. What about for you?
There's a lot of really impressive art pieces. There's all different types of media.
Yeah.
My favorite is I don't remember the title or the artist, which is terrible, but I'm so focused on just the piece itself. But there's a mixed media, like knitted piece that someone made. Do you remember what her name is? It might come to me, but it's just a really beautiful sort of like crocheted, weaved piece that's probably like...
It's a Mariah Freed.
Mariah Freed. I think it's like 3x2, but it's just the colors, and it's really impressive.
And it's crocheted?
I think it's
textile.
different, weaves
That takes
and
some skill.
sewn. It's really
Yeah.
pleasant. I mean, it doesn't have like a whole lot of like form to it. It just kind of relaxes and hangs on the wall, but it's
Yeah.
cool. There's a few pieces of like poetry and prose that I'm a fan of, but like I said, I've kind of just been focused on where it fits on the page instead of exactly what it says or who did it. But there's some good pieces. Like what he said, by working with people instead of just being like, all right, once we take it, it's done. It kind of helps refine what we've put together. So
I totally get what you mean. So how's it like working for Underground, like the day-to-day?
Well, that is an interesting question.
Yeah.
It's kind of different maybe from other student media groups in that there's not kind of the same volume of stuff to do kind of on a consistent basis. It's kind of everything happens all at once.
Or nothing happens.
In a flood, yeah. So, right now, because of the way that we've approached this issue, it's a lot of just editing, revising, doing that again, reaching out to the authors and sort of, asking them how they would feel about different changes that we're interested in making. And kind of for the first time, Underground is now kind of actively involved with the contributors in sort of editing and publishing this journal instead of just maybe like what you'd call curating the issue. And we were a little nervous about that at first because we didn't know how people might respond. It's a little bit different from, say, the Signal, where when you are writing something that someone is going to have something to say about it, that there's going to be a revision process. And the contributors didn't necessarily know that was coming. And so we were not concerned, but we just sort of were experimenting to see whether they would appreciate it or kind of like really push back or
Be
whatever.
offended or
Yeah, and fortunately that hasn't been the case. I think approaching people and letting them know that the reason we're doing this is because we already want their piece, and sort of validating their work like that, and just saying we just want it to be even better and put your best work out there, since it will be in print. So yeah, it's been a success, I would say.
yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. What about for you? What's your day-to-day?
A lot of Photoshop and Illustrator and
Yeah.
InDesign tweaking and playing around with it, and him and I can't fully nail down the cover yet. We're still kind of messing with it, but yeah, just playing with how the layout is and making sure it looks good. We've been reaching out to different publication or publishers to see who the best person to print it is, and we're trying to change the aesthetic a little bit and switch up the way that maybe like the art fits into it. Other printers, they have like a certain technique where the art is kind of separate, but we sort of want to integrate everything cleanly and just have it all flow. So yeah, I'm just playing with the overall aesthetic of it.
Okay, sounds like a very fun, artsy environment.
Yeah.
So what's the next steps for undergrad for this spring semester?
For spring semester, when do submissions open?
So we just opened submissions.
Okay.
Officially we're open. We haven't really promoted that yet, but they are, our WorkSync page is live, so people can start submitting. And that will be for our second issue. And then as soon as we know when we will have this first issue in hand, we're going to definitely have a release event, hopefully sort of collaborate with some other student organizations. And we are just now looking at doing something else that Underground has never done, which is trying to have an art gallery or some temporary exhibition of the artwork that's in the journal. Because that we just think that would be cool, quite frankly.
It benefits everyone, the artists, and it gives us a little bit of publicity, and
That'd
maybe
be
people
really
can buy
cool.
each other's art. It'll be a good symbiotic session.
Definitely. We're also planning on working with Digital Media Group. Yeah.
Sounds fun.
Definitely. So we're hoping that as part of the release event that the contributors will be interested in reading their work and recording it for you to use, and also so that we can maybe embed it in the digital version, because we're experimenting with that. We've been putting the issues on Issue. Not a big fan of that format, so we're kind of looking for new ways to update our online presence too.
All right. Definitely. Sounds like a plan. So what would you tell someone who wanted to get involved with Underground?
Well, is it
Sorry.
No, is it February 15th that the media head applications go live.
I don't remember.
Okay. Well, in the next week or two,
Yeah.
applications for, editor will become available, and production editor.
Our jobs.
Both. Yeah. We're out of here.
Right?
So,
Come
those
fill
are
our shoes.
yeah,
you know?
those are definitely great opportunities. As far as the staff, we sort of have rolling applications for that that are available online, and I think I can't speak for whoever is going to take over, but I know my approach is sort of to find. I'm looking for people who kind of want to take charge of specific things that will help us out as a group, and kind of make it their project. It doesn't necessarily have to be something where we meet all the time, but just knowing that I can count on them to kind of follow through. So ideas and experimentation definitely welcome.
Okay, absolutely. So long term, what would you want for the underground to reach, like a long-term goal?
One thing that we are also, I guess I forgot to mention this, but we are about to open the journal to national submissions,
Oh, okay.
which is a pretty big step. But the idea there is just to extend our reach and expand our readership, and for now it's going to kind of be in the format, I guess you'd say, more like a contest. So the submissions that come from outside of Georgia State will kind of be considered separately from the Georgia State submissions, and kind of plan on having that sort of as a contest, probably 5 or 6 pieces total that we'll take, but we're pretty excited about that, because I think it will definitely take us to the next level in terms of our profile.
Yeah.
Just because we're a school journal doesn't mean we can't be read by people at home, people in different countries. We just want to widen our reach a little bit and
Why not?
show ourselves off.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So that's mainly the long-term goal for right now for Underground?
I would say so.
Yeah.
Get our identity tighter.
Yeah.
Just know what it's about, so people not know what to expect, but they have an expectation for what they're about to read or what they're about to experience.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Going national, that's just top-notch. So, great plan.
Yeah, and we now our each issue is being archived by the New York Public Library, which is something that just happened. So, if your work is published in Underground, a copy will be in the New York Public Library, which is pretty cool.
That's huge.
Legacy right there.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I think that's kind of part of our larger strategy of getting outside of Georgia State, raising our profile a little bit, and it's kind of mutually beneficial, like Cassie was saying, because if there are people at other universities who are reading the journal, that means there's that many more people who are reading your work if you're published, which is just always a good thing.
Definitely expanding reach, reaching thousands, hundreds of thousands. That sounds really good.
Millions.
So,
Why stop
yeah,
there?
Millions. Yeah,
There's
billions.
bajillions.
The whole world. Yeah.
That's right.
So, is there anything else you'd like to add about your group?
I don't know. It's less of like a job, and it's kind of more just for anybody, writers, people who want to do production, editing, like what I'm doing. It's just a nice kind of hub where people can be creative but work together. But it doesn't have a lot of pressure involved. But it's just something to do and get involved, and
Yeah,
I think it's cool.
definitely. Okay, so in one word, describe your group. If you had to pick one word to describe your group, what would it be?
Underground.
All right.
Get out of here.
That was kind of a
That's like
cop-out,
using a definition for a definition. What's a good word? What are we? 'Cause if it was him and I, it'd be quite a word. But all of us. How about experimental? No, that's might be a little weird. Hopeful.
Those are nice words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Accepting.
Accepting, yeah.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like
Excited. All the
accepting?
pumped up words.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. One word is tough, but
Yeah.
I do think that Underground is in an awesome position because, you know, our submissions are coming from one of the most diverse student bodies in the country, and that alone makes us interesting.
Interesting,
So-
that's the word.
Potential.
Yeah, interesting.
Interesting. All right, I like
So
that.
interesting.
That's It's
Great. Well, thank you both for coming to the DMG update event. So to learn more about the DMG, you can find us at our app. It's on Google Play and iTunes at DMG ATL. You can also add us on Facebook and Twitter at DMG ETL or Digital Media Group Atlanta. Thank you for listening.